Hello. I think we should be live.
We're live.
Yeah.
In the EUMs podcast, I'm saying live stream. How are you, Elliot?
I'm fine. I'm glad it's not as hot anymore as yesterday. It was terrible. Terrible. Depends on who you ask, but 30 degrees is too much for me.
Where are you based? Where are you at?
Right now, the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. We've got
Yeah.
two Dutch guys doing this. That's speaking English. That makes
Yeah.
it easy, though, I guess.
Two Dutch guys speaking English. Yeah. No. I guess for now, I'm just gonna ask the chat if everything is understandable. If we can hear everything, if you can see everything, just give me some general impression chat so we can get everything situated, and then we'll explain the concept of what we're doing tonight.
Yeah. I mean, while we're waiting, though, I'm going to throw a curveball right at you. I mean, this is a political channel, so and I know it's EU based, but what do you think of the American Vice President for Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, I think his name is?
Yeah,
Do you
Tim.
know him at all, or do you know him?
So I didn't know him. Well, I heard his name, but I had to look him up yesterday after like all the news dropped. So I was googling, looking up who this guy is, and I think he is a pretty solid VP. I would be pretty. I'm not scared at all. Everyone says everything sounds fine. There's about a 10-second delay, so that's good to know as well, or maybe a bit longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Walz, I think he's fine. From what I've could seen, he's quite moderate. He's like one of the most middle Democrats that there are, and I feel like he might help with getting some voters. Like,
but he's quite progressive, right? I mean, I read about him a bit. I mean,
Yeah.
for European standards, he's like centrist, probably.
Yeah.
But,
So there's this good. I don't know. I actually don't know what the organization is who it does, but there's this organization that kind of ranks all of the politicians, or most politicians, I think, in the United States on a scale from Democrat to Republican, and he is like you couldn't be more in the middle almost. So I guess for like compared to others, he's pretty centrist as well. So I don't know. I think he's okay. This might sound weird, but he's an old man. So and in America, you kind of need that. I feel like an old white man.
Old white man.
You kind of do need that because for maybe the more swayed or like swing voters, like a female black president might be instantly like, whoa, this is something new. We have never had this before. So with a VP that is old white and I guess yes progressive, but maybe not too much. So it should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let us know in the chat what you think, because I mean, there was a couple of interesting picks. Just so everyone knows, I think you all do, because you're all politics nerds on here anyway.
Yeah.
But Kamala Harris has chosen her vice president to run against Trump and Vance, and it's Tim Walz. And the progressives in the US, they're quite happy about it because he apparently is quite progressive. Like, if you know Bernie Sanders, he's ecstatic that he is running as the vice president. And now we're going to have a very progressive ticket of Vance and Trump against Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. So
especially compared to those two, God, he's the ultra progressive. Okay, so I feel like we've got quite a few people in. So do you want me?
I'm having a drink, by the way.
Do you want me to introduce the concept?
Yes. So go for it. This is a new concept. So let everyone know. Maybe sorry, I'm going to stop you because people don't know you yet either. I
was about to say that.
Yeah.
I was about to say that as well. Well, first of all, thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Elliot, and I've been with EU Made Simple for about, I want to say 2 months now, and I'm responsible for the live stream. So the past few live streams, except for the ones where Lambertus goes out into the field, I have been responsible for those. And basically from everything from the back end, from now also taking over to invite guests, to the equipment, to everything that's to do with live streaming, I try to have or help you Made Simple with that. So part in that trend is now that we're going to be looking at, we have live streams. You're probably familiar with the live streams that we've done with interviewing interesting people in general. We have the MEPs. We had the first debate. We had discussions about the European elections, right? So lots of things and lots of people. But now we were like, we kind of want something to interact with the community as well. We kind of want a little bit more laid back, a little more relaxed. Just kind of the idea of two guys sitting in a bar talking about politics, really, and we kind of wanted to have a gimmick around that. So that is the hot or the not that you've been seeing. So also, I just wanted to say, just like two guys in a bar, I also got myself a beer as well. I got myself a beer. So
I was gonna say, Damahon in the comments, he's like, "Oh no, drinking while ranking leaders. This will get interesting." Yeah. Oh, by the way, maybe just to interrupt, Elliot, this we kind of want to do this live stream a little bit. We are talking with our own opinions. So this is not the EU Made Simple talking. Our videos are very, very factual. We try to show both sides of the argument. And today it's a little bit more about what our feelings are about certain politicians. So it's a new format for everyone in that sense. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it is definitely not EU Made Simple official statements. It's really me and Lambertus talking about what we personally think. So of course there are going to be disagreements as well with you probably watching. So please disagree with us. Please let us know your opinions, your views, as long as they're constructive.
They're not all going to be constructive.
No, I know. You can call us whatever the fuck you want. But the thing is, we will probably not shout you out on the live stream because of it. Anyways, so we've made up something very, I think, pretty interesting. Let me just avert your eyes, or not avert your eyes, direct your eyes even towards not this. This is one of the articles we're going to be talking about, but instead the tier list. Here we go. The hot and the not official EUMS tier list, ladies and gentlemen. So the idea here is pretty straightforward. We have a tier list. Let's just call it what it is. It's a tier list, but we are going to be, let's say, going through a few articles that we've gathered before this. Those articles all center kind of around a person, and we want to put that person into the hottest tier, which you can see all the way up here with my cursor, all the way down to the not tier, I guess. And the idea is that me and Lambertus will go into discussion about we have to agree on a tier, basically. And if we can't agree, we'll go into discussions. We will try to convince the other to try and agree on a single tier. And if that's not possible, we will turn to the chat as a tier breaker. Or a tier breaker, tiebreaker. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about tier list too much. So yes, and the idea as well is that we will ask much of your guys' input as well. Maybe we don't really know where to start with a rating. So yeah, keep commenting, keep talking, and that's the general gist of it. Did I get everything, Lambertus? Or did I miss anything?
I think you got everything. I think we should just get right into it. So and we did a nice little poll here, and even here the chat, Arthur Monk is the new guy should go first. So.
The new guy. Oh yeah, all right. Always the new guy.
Exactly. So while you prepare that, Elliot, maybe you get the first article up. I'm going to answer one question here. Arthur Monk, what do you all think to save the video games EU initiative referendum? A video will come on this. So thank you for the emails that we got about this. We'll respond to you. We are going to make a video on it. So stay tuned. And anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Elliot.
No, that's fine. You don't have to say sorry for anything, Lambertus.
Good.
Anyways, also I wanted to give one last remark is that we are going to be giving away 3 patron subscriptions. I just heard from production that
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, so we're gonna have 3 patron subscriptions giveaways, and let me just read what you have to do for that. It's for people that are obviously not subscribed to Patreon already, and what you have to do is share this live stream, either default or preferably now, in order to be able to be eligible to win in your Instagram stories. So share this live stream in your Instagram stories, tag us so that we know that you shared it. And the first 3 people to do that will be rewarded with the citizen level tier on our Patreon. So please do that, and you will get a free Patreon subscription tier. So thank you if you end up doing that. Anyways, let's see. So the article, right? We're diving right in. And I feel like it doesn't really matter with which one we start. But I have one open. Let's start with Let's start with a more, how would you call it?
Popular one.
A popular one. I mean, most of these are popular. Okay, let's start with Mr. I can show it here. Mr. Olaf Scholz here on the picture. Yeah, so I picked this article, and the idea kind of is, the first article will talk through everything so that everyone gets the idea of what we're doing here. But the idea is now I have an article. I will explain to you guys and to Lambertus because he doesn't know why I chose this article, and then we are gonna have to rank Mr. Scholz, Germany's chancellor, on our previously shown tier list.
And Elliot, if I can interrupt quickly, just to make another comment, we are looking. August, guys, maybe you've noticed on our channel, August is terrible. There's no news. It's been very hard for us to make cool, relevant videos. So we're kind of going for evergreen topics. So today we are looking at politicians over the last 4 weeks of what they've done. This article might already be a little older, and basically talk about that. And then we can see how it goes from there. So sorry, Elliot, continue.
That's exactly right. This is. August, summertime, everyone's on vacation, so everyone is taking a chill pill. However, I think we found some interesting ones to talk about anyway. So, without further ado, we have a Politico article with the title, Germany wants a Brexit mega deal. And for the people that don't know, or actually, that's basically everyone watching, Brexit happened with the UK leaving the European Union. And this article basically goes into the fact that there is some sort of a reset between, or at least there's an attempt at EU-UK relations. And Scholz is one of the first to go after this. And I feel like that should bring up enough discussion already. So we have we had Brexit, and I feel we did make a video about if the UK should rejoin the EU, right? So what are your first thoughts, I guess?
So I'm always looking at the comments, so I will give you my first thought. Commissions will come, Anton. Commissioners will come, don't worry. Anyway, my first thoughts on this. So UK left the EU, everyone knows this. The Conservatives were in power for 10, 14 years. And now finally Labour has, finally, some people might not be happy, but finally the Labour government has now got control. And they are a lot more friendly towards the EU, right? They don't want to rejoin. They don't even want to rejoin the single market or anything like that.
So how are they more friendly?
Sorry?
How are they more friendly then, if they don't want anything to do?
More open to working with us.
I see. Okay, I guess a bit more open.
Okay. I think the Conservatives were very adamant that a lot of their voters voted Brexit, and they didn't want to be seen working with us, really. And they were also always very adamant about no single markets, no customs union, obviously no EU membership. And honestly, they were quite hostile at times. So my question really is, yes, Scholz might have this great article here, let's connect again with Britain. But honestly, I think this is more of a Keir Starmer thing than it is Keir Starmer, by the way, is a leader of the Labour Party, pushing for this than it is Olaf Scholz. So I'm going to be very honest. People have watched know me a little bit. Scholz, I have my doubts about him sometimes.
You really aren't the biggest fan of Scholz, are you? Yeah, I recall, if I may, you calling him was it a wet dog or a wet noodle before we went into this?
You're not supposed to say that.
I'm sorry.
No, you are right. I don't know. There's things he does well. There obviously is, but I live in Germany, and I feel maybe there's Germans in this chat, so please shout out what you think. But I really do feel he's not very prevalent in Germany. Right? Even in Germany itself, he does his interviews and then it just feels like he disappears. That's my first thing. The second thing is I do feel he's a bit indecisive. So when it comes to, Ukraine and all the support, yes, Germany has given a lot of support. I don't want to deny it. Don't want to piss off any Germans here. But it always feels like it's a second too late, Right. It always feels like, we talk half a year about delivering tanks. By that time, Russia has already made its countermeasures against the tanks. So it always feels he's a step too slow, and that's what my concern is with him.
Maybe. Okay, so more of a extremely. I mean, the article did say, to be fair, I'm only showing the headlines, which is obviously not a good way of representing what is in an article. So I could just tell you what is in this. But
so what did he do, Elliot? What did he do?
So let me know. He didn't do that much. However, he was, I think, the first to receive slash was like publicly state that he's open to the idea that Keir Starmer floated around while talking about a new security agreement with the European Union. So he did. Wait, before I continue, we really have to talk about the first super chat, or actually the second, but the first one during the live stream, from BG Svetan or BGC Vetan.
Yeah, he's on our Discord too, by the way. So everyone, if you want to join Discord, join it. But anyway, yeah, go ahead, Elliot.
Yeah. So he made a super chat, which with two BGN. I don't know what currency BGN is, but I'll just assume that it's good. And then he says, tossing this idea, or this for idea, the EU Founding Fathers series. And we actually do have something rather similar. We have a series on Instagram about EU heroes, which is also highlighting the specific people in the European Union. So that might be something you're looking for as well. So make sure.
Actually, I know a bit more about this than you, Elliot, because I am the team that's creating the videos. I am mainly running that team at the moment. And we have a really cool new team member who is an expert when it comes to history of the EU.
Okay.
And we're creating a new series on the channel, which will be called the European Heroes or EU Heroes, something along that line. Whether it's that person that we're talking about as a hero, of course, is up to the audience to decide, but we see these as the founding fathers of the EU.
Okay.
And we're going to create a series on this. So BGC Vetan, we got you, man. This will come on the channel in the next couple of months. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you should probably talk more about the channel than I do.
It's just funny because I actually got this first script for the first video this week, so that's why. But anyway, we need to continue with our topic.
Sorry. So, well, okay. As a general idea, I wanted to rate Scholz on the idea of him being open to a more constructive EU-UK dialogue, and in general, he like you said already with your criticisms of him, he didn't do that much. He just kind of shook a few hands, said a few things, and that's it. I don't believe that there's any real policy already in creation or any real treaty or whatever in that case, or at least not that I'm aware of. So once again, we're not experts here. Okay, we're just kind of going off what we know. So I guess we don't really have to talk about it that much more. I think the most interesting part is where shall we put Mr. Scholz?
Well, what would you rate him in the last 4 weeks? Let's hear it for you first, then I'll hit out my rating.
So now I have to remember what have I seen of Scholz in the past 4 weeks.
Nothing. That's the problem.
we didn't say anything. And okay, in the spirit, I mean, I'm looking at the chat right now and the poll right now, and it says that I guess most people in chat at least would like the UK to rejoin the EU, which is very interesting. Especially some chatters are definitely disagreeing. But where should I put him? We haven't seen him, and the only things that I remember of him is exactly what you said, as of him being slow. But I do appreciate
him reaching out.
The gesture, okay, and I guess the gesture is not that big, but it's a first step, right? So come on, Elliot, come on, I'm waiting. We'll put him in 3. We'll put him in 3. We'll put him in tier 3.
Okay. Look, you even forgot the most critical argument. Scholz literally lost the European election. Okay, it's a bit longer than 4 weeks, but I'm going to use it anyway. He lost the European election.
Breaking the rules already.
Like, literally, first place in Germany was CDU, right? It's for people that don't know, that's the right. I mean, it's not right wing, but center right.
Center right.
Center right party in Germany. Second place was the AfD, so that's like the right wing far right party here in Germany. And I think third place. God, now I'm really getting tested. I think it was the Greens. I think SPD was fourth, wasn't it? Oh God, I need to check that. But put it this way, SPD really lost, like massively. Yeah. And that is, honestly, if you ask me, that's on Scholz. He is the chancellor. He should do better. Point number 1. Point number 2, he is invisible. I've already mentioned that. Like, I don't really see him here. He had one summer interview. I remember that. And so let's leave it there. He's invisible. Yep. And point number 3, I really feel this is Keir Starmer reaching out. I don't think this is some grandeur event from Mr. Scholz. Again, I don't want to be too negative because he has done good things in the past, I know, but currently I can't give him more than what, a 2 max, like a meh, like a very big meh.
A meh, big meh.
Yeah,
So
honestly.
it's like a meh, closer to almost a not. What I'm hearing you say, but
Arthur Monk, I am so sorry. You are right. He is third. They were third. The Social Democrats, right? I think you did. Yeah, okay, got third. Fine, still sucks.
So no, yeah. So basically, your entire argument is ruined already, as well as by like what Peter what Peter said is that he at least deserves +1 for his eye patch that he had for a while, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, so let's give him for his last month. I would give him a 2. Are you gonna stick with your 3? Otherwise, we could ask. We could ask the audience. Let's see what they say.
There's already poll gone out.
Yeah. So really the idea, everyone, by the way, while you're voting is Scholz is going to feature on this channel again in the future. And he might be very good then. And again and again. And there's going to be loads of other politicians that will feature. And then hopefully every quarter or every half year, we can do like a little, like a standing
review.
Exact performance review. Exactly. And then we can, go from there and can find who our favorite, the EUMS favorite politician was over the last 5 years. Not EUMS. I really apologize. I can't say that. Lambertus and Elliot's favorite politician was. And who's the least favorite was. So that's kind of the idea.
Okay.
All right. So let's have a look. The tiers. Who won?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the poll, we should have probably said that tier 4 is higher. Or actually, how we say 1 is highest because we go from 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jeez,
5,
they're
right?
agreeing with you, man. I can't believe it.
Anyways, it's 3. So. First of all,
shame on the chat. Shame on the chat.
Don't you dare talk to chat that way. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, chat.
No, absolute no. Lambertus, go ahead, swear at the chat, call them idiots. Okay, they will agree with me. They will agree with me in the future. All right.
We're gonna lose 10. We're at least gonna lose like how many? I've got almost 100 people on here. We're gonna lose 100 subscribers, man.
Yeah, 100
subs
instantly gone.
Yeah. All right. Fine, we'll go with you.
Okay, so. Maybe if we put some other people up, we can bump him down if we compare him to other politicians at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So let me grab this other article. I think it was sent by you.
It's my turn.
It's your turn. Right. So Orban isn't as isolated as you think. Go, tell.
You're sharing it, right? I can't see it yet.
No, okay. We're sharing it. So
okay. So we can't go a video almost or a live stream without mentioning Orban. And Orban has had quite a few weeks. I mean, I actually do quite like reporting on him because you have to say he's a character.
He's the drama queen of Europe. Yeah, he always delivers something.
Exactly. And I mean, maybe people know, but Orban is part of the Fidesz party in Hungary. And Fidesz, they got kicked out of the EPP group in the European Parliament in 2019, I think, right? So basically the center-right part of the parliament did not want to work with Orban anymore. Orban's been alone, independent, so to speak, so not part of a group, non-aligned in the European Parliament until this year, where 5 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, probably less even, 3-4 weeks ago, he formed the Patriots for Europe, so a new political group within the European Parliament. I think a lot of people will know this on the call. And to be honest, I think this is quite extraordinary because the ECR, this is Meloni's group. So just to, again, summarize it for everyone here, Meloni's a little bit to the, little bit less far right, I would say, than the...
definitely. I definitely would agree.
Patriots for Europe. And I wouldn't even call Meloni's group far right, to be honest, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he created a new group, and that new group is now bigger than Meloni's ECR. I mean, that's extraordinary, if you ask me. And he went from being isolated on the EU stage, where everyone was always hating on him, to the third biggest group in the parliament.
Yeah.
Right?
So the Patriots...
So this article, Elliot, let me summarize. So this article is about, he's not as isolated as you think. He's definitely not, because he's the third biggest. He's pretty much together with Le Pen, leading the third biggest group of the European Parliament, which I think is extraordinary. Extraordinary. Yeah.
The third biggest is... I mean, it is quite big, especially when you're comparing it to, I mean, what used to be big parties like, I mean, Renew and stuff, right?
Renew is loser, obviously.
Yeah, big loser. I don't know. Obviously, personal bias, but the calling your group the Patriots is very funny. When I think you could say that Orban is some might even call Orban a fan or a useful ally of Russia into Europe. So
Look at his allies. I mean,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. I mean, look, but full disclosure, I think there's a lot of issues with Orban, and we need to deal with it on an EU level, 100%. But look at his allies. He's got relationships with China, with Russia. Vance and Trump love him, like externally. And now he's got allies in multiple European countries. This is what the article is about. It's all about Orban is not isolated, and he's not.
Yeah. No, he's definitely not. No, I wouldn't say isolated, but as like he's not isolated politically, right? In the sense that he personally and his political party, they definitely have a big network of like-minded parties as well. But I would maybe disagree with the notion that he is like not isolated in the sense that isolated in the policy sense, because the European Union, especially, was there an article a few days ago of how he was blocking again funds to Ukraine. Something happened again, and it did go through in the end. But every time something like this happens, I don't think that behind the scenes that they are going to be happy with him at all. So like in my view, he's going to be more stuck the more times he does actions like this, where he blocks something for his own personal gain. So he will have his friends at his cocktail parties, but I'm the point is, I guess, I'm trying to make is that how much is that going to influence his actual power, quote unquote power?
Yeah. I mean, he's also done some crazy stuff lately, right? I mean, if everyone, to give you an update too, he's crazy in my eyes. Personal opinion is crazy. Like not removing, but at least making it easier for Belarusians and Russians to get visas into Hungary.
Yeah, that's
something else. Yeah, that's something else he's done. And obviously, I mean, I don't need to tell you, once you're in Hungary, you kind of can travel freely, right? So into the Schengen area.
That's true.
So that's a big question mark on him. So not made many friends there either. And he did do a little foreign policy tour 2 weeks ago, I think it was, where he went to Zelensky.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny, but it's just crazy, right? He goes to Zelensky without telling Zelensky that day after he's got the flight to Russia to talk to Putin.
Yeah.
And then the day after that, he's flying to, I think he went to China after that, before going to the US, a self-inclined foreign policy tour.
Yeah, a little photo op tour. I mean, which was surprising. I didn't read much more into it, but I saw a article saying that the conversation between Zelensky and Orban was productive or very productive. I think it was even
That's what he said. That's what he said, right?
Oh, that's what he said? I thought Zelensky agreed.
Did he?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this, but
I don't think Zelensky was happy about what Orban did.
No, but so I think what happened is that they talked. After they talked, they said that, but he still wasn't aware that he would be going to Russia after that. So he might have not said that if he knew everything. But there's a lot to say. And I think the article does make a good point of saying that it's not necessarily like his political maneuvering internationally is pretty smart by finding allies that are or like-minded allies, and then leveraging his position to become the third largest party. Right? That is objectively that is commendable in the sense that you are able to form a group of people and then. I don't know how good the cohesion is within that group, by the way, but I feel like that if you're able to form a group inside the European Parliament, and you have as many allies abroad as Orban has, that it's like he can do something. He's not like a super dumb guy or something, right? Yeah.
By the way, call out from Imre on the chat, which is quite interesting. He says, if you want some in-depth details about Orban's activities, invite me to the call. I have stories. I think we should definitely do that, Imre, at some point, getting experts on here. Especially because I know some of these stories about like how locally, when there's local oppositions in like smaller cities throughout Hungary, they like lose funding by Orban's government, basically, because they obviously want to weaken them. Things like that. I don't know the exact details, but anyway, Elliot, we don't have much time. We need to rank him.
We're ranking him. Okay.
So this is the issue before the call, or before this live stream, which I said, like, how do we rank them? Do we rank them in the eyes of EUMS? Obviously not. Do we rank them in the eyes of the EU? Or do we rank them in the eyes of Orban himself, or as ourselves, right? Because all of this would give a completely different ranking.
So it would, Lambertus, and that's why I say you're free to rank him as you please. If you think Orban's hair looks weird, you can rank him based on that. That's totally fine. But if you want to look at every single angle that is possibly humanely, like all the 7 or 8 billion different angles that humanity has on Orban, then you could do that as well. So I'll let you go first for this one then.
Then you can disagree if you want. Okay, so full disclosure, I'm not going to hide the fact. I always vote on these people with the EU in mind. So I am definitely, just if people didn't know it here yet, me personally, I lean pro-EU. I'm not saying we should put everything on EU level, but I definitely lean pro-EU.
Yep.
And with the EU in mind, Orban the last month has been bad news for the EU. It has been very, very bad news for the EU, right? Because especially he's got a big political group, which is not all of them, but partly very anti-EU. First reason. Second reason is I'm very pro-Ukraine. So him, allowing visa-free travel is not good news for the EU. So with those reasons in mind, I am going to give him the little devil. I'm going to give him the load. Yeah,
I mean, it is to be expected. I mean, just as well, personally, I feel just like on a personal level, the constant using, I guess you could call, some people would call it smart, but the constant using of your
the veto
of your actual power, like the power within what you would assume are a group of friends, because you are in the European Union and you will have to work together with them if you want, whether you want to or not. Then to constantly abuse that, I really dislike that too. So I don't think we need to discuss much on that.
We agree, Elliot.
Yeah, I think we agree.
Okay, tier 5 at the bottom. At the bottom.
Yeah, at the bottom. Okay, so tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for chat. Once again, 1 is the highest, tier 5 is the lowest. So Viktor Orban, Hungary's prime minister, is gonna go down there.
Oh, poor Orban.
Yeah, poor. Maybe he will find some friends. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, he did vote for Ukraine, for example. Starting the conversations about candidacy, but he did kind of get like a 10 billion euro.
No, he was paid. He was paid off. No, let's not twist it. He was paid off. Wasn't it some sort of stupid story where he left the room to go into the bathroom or whatever, and then they did the vote while he was absent, so the vote went through, so he didn't do a veto, so he could say that no, I didn't vote for it. Something like that. Something stupid like that, anyways.
I would also love to ask the chat while we're going to the next one. Is there anything that you feel let's be positive too. There's anything that Orban's done that might have been also something good? If anyone knows something, while we go to the next candidate.
Yeah. We can ask, but I mean, honestly, if you know something positive, then let us know, because I would be interested as well. Because the thing is, we are not Hungarian, right? So if there's any Hungarian viewers that might see a economic policy for Hungarians themselves, or some sort of cultural, anything that within Hungary might have been a positive thing, then
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, Elliot. I'm just laughing at the chat. I'm laughing at the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's no one's gonna be responding to this. I'm just trying to throw it out there. Okay, we need to look at all the possible options.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got Orban. That's great. He hasn't had in the eyes of the EU, for me, he hasn't had a good 5 weeks.
No. Okay. So I mean, I'm looking at chat right now, and Imra says cringe, but he did give a lot of support for families. Luke Slee says child credit policy. I mean, Anya said no, because he has not done anything good as well. So that's possible too. Anthony says, I am a Belgian who moved to Hungary. There is a lot of support for SMEs and families for sure. So SMEs, that's the small and middle companies,
small,
right?
Medium,
enterprises.
Medium enterprises.
Yeah. So I guess that could be a good thing, but I because it's our personal rating, I can't rank him on that. So we'll put him in 5.
Yeah, exactly. Personal rankings with the EU in mind. Anyway, Elliot, next one. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we gotta start burning through these. Okay,
37 minutes in.
So I put this one in. It's about our favorite queen, dictator, emperor, Ursula von der Leyen.
It's not.
No,
We're going for a very prominent. And after this one, we should do like a more less known politician, because I think that'd be cool too. That's right with you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so and at first, EU transfers 1.5 billion to Ukraine using Russia's frozen assets, and this is interesting because most of the people will know is that Russia has a lot of assets, financial assets, like actual just cash reserves outside of the country in many United States, but also European countries. And the problem is that this is like hundreds of billions worth of euros, I think, or dollars, you would say. And there is a legal problem where the European Union or the United States, you can't just take that money that belongs to someone else and give it to another person, simply because that would make a precedent where the government can take anyone's savings and then just give it to someone else as they please. So the workaround in this case is that instead of taking the money directly, they take the assets, let's say the revenue that's generated by those assets, and then proceed to donate them to Ukraine, which I thought personally was a very smart workaround and a very logical one. Probably way too late as well, but it happened, and that's why I wanted to bring this forth, because this is quite a big thing. It's a totally new construction, totally new event that we haven't seen before. At least I don't recall in our contemporary history. So yeah, that's why I thought this was an interesting article.
Elliot, maybe scroll down the article a little bit, because there's one thing what makes me question all of this, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I can't see it yet. But anyway,
what do you need?
So you think this is a? I can't see it yet. Actually, there's a bit of a delay for me.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But somewhere, and it's very small. So somewhere it says that there is 700 billion or 600 billion of frozen Russian assets in total.
Yes, something like that. We have
really
so across the block it's 210 billion.
210 billion, and we managed to send 1.5 to Ukraine, and that's an achievement.
Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. You can scoff at that if you want, but like I said, you can't just take even though. Okay, no, I wouldn't even want that.
That's 0.5%. That's 0.5%.
Yeah. So what would you rather have, them not send anything?
No, I'm saying I'm saying we're 2.5 years into this war, and we've sent.
That's not the only thing we've sent. I think we've sent closer to hundreds of billions as well. But this is like a new policy area. So this is not the total amount of money donated, as you might know. But yeah, it's okay. Of course, I think it should be more. But I thought it was the entire amount of the. Let's see.
I mean, okay, let me maybe summarize, right? Like, I don't think it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a good first step. So Imre, I agree with you. It's the beginning. That's great. And here, Niall, but you can't just nick their money and send it over. Haha. I mean, I'd love it, but Niall, honestly, I know it's a difficult one. I do realize, because it's not exactly Mr. Putin's money, right? It's money of probably like private people within Russia, but the amount of damage has been done in Ukraine with, again, this is my opinion, right? With Russian aggression.
Yep.
I think it's fully deserved that the frozen assets that we've frozen here from private people from Russia is a fair game to use that to rebuild Ukraine. Also, because that might put pressure on the Russian government to find a solution to some extent, because people will be losing their money, right? But so I think. Why do us European taxpayers have to pay, and then not the Russian frozen money here throughout Europe? Makes no sense to me. So I think we should definitely go down that route.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So this is not. Or I think this is a very special case, because you like that 1.5 billion of revenue. I don't think you can just also appropriate and put it into the European Union's pocket either. There's like a lot of legal avenue here, which we are totally not experts on, but after like a long process, they finally found that they were able to do this. Of course, you can see Hungary highlighted multiple times throughout this text, because they were obviously trying to block that again. So we can attribute this to Ursula, I guess, because she was one of the ones, I think, to really start pushing for this and suggest this in public at least. So we will never know the poor policy worker that had to write up this entire law policy, what have you. But yeah. So what are we thinking?
What are you thinking? I think you should go first.
So we are looking at the past weeks, right?
Right.
As well. And I really like this. She obviously this is not just Ursula's plan. And well, she did get re-elected, which is obviously a pretty good thing, or at least for her, I would assume.
But do you like her re-election? It's kind of your opinion. Do you think?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm maybe one of the people that I don't really care about Ursula, like one way or the other. I think she's doing an okay job. I don't have a strong opinion on her because I don't disagree majorly with most of her stuff. But yeah, it's a bit meh. If she wasn't re-elected, then I wouldn't really care either. I guess it would depend on who would take her place, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I think she deserves like a smiley face,
tier 2.
Yeah, tier 2. Something like that.
Tier 2. David must say, not too bad, but Ursula is one too much. So David is agreeing with you. I think he wants Oh wait, you're putting her between the fire, the hot, and the smile?
No. That's why I just kept her for a little while to decide.
Man, this is boring, Elliot. We're agreeing with each other. I mean, I think to summarize, she won. I guess it's a bit different in the article. So the article, I think it's great, the 1.5 billion, but I'm hoping for more. That's my conclusion there. And the election, I think, is amazing for her because she won by 40 votes. Last time, 5 years ago, she won only by 9, right? The election in the parliament, I should call it, the final election. So I think that's amazing for her. My opinion of Ursula also, I think for the stability of the EU, she's probably, I don't mind her like you. I'm not like some people are real haters. Like the video we create on Ursula von der Leyen, Jesus, they hate.
Dude, in the live streams as well, like during your live stream with Phidias, the Cypriot guy. He was very opposed to Ursula as well, and the chat kind of agreed then as well.
I just wonder, maybe I'm asked the chat here, like, why is there so much hate? Like, I mean, I know there's this scandal.
What is your biggest dislike of Ursula von der Leyen?
Yeah, what's your biggest dislike? That's a good one. Because there's scandals, right? There's the Pfizer scandal, right? That was one. There's a scandal where she like got this EPP candidate. I don't know. Basically, she employed someone that without vetting, which was not a good Peepergate. It's called, which wasn't great. But other than that, she wasn't a very good defense minister in Germany. So people in Germany don't like her that much.
She wasn't. Okay.
She wasn't. No, she wasn't. Yeah. He's been accused of spending millions, if not billions, probably billions on consultants without seeing any good result in the German Bundeswehr. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but again, the Pfizer scandal, like, it annoys me a little bit because yes, she's completely wrong. Don't be wrong. But we were in crisis back then. Like, other countries were getting like vaccinations, and I remember all of Europe was saying, like, why can't the EU sort vaccinations? And then there was so much pressure on the EU to act that she fucked up. I mean, she did, but the amount of hate for that, I think, is a bit much, if you ask me.
I'm seeing as well Vipergate, Pfizergate.
Yeah. Oh, the Palestine-Israel one, that's a big one. Yeah, thank you, Alexandru. That's a whole other.
So what's her stance? Is that I thought it was pretty milquetoast as well, wasn't it? Or not very much unspoken?
I think that's the issue, because it was milquetoast. Milquetoast, is that even saying?
Milquetoast. I think you spell it in a very weird way. But like I thought you just called for a general ceasefire, so I guess it's just a bit too boring.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's rank her. Let's keep going because we need to.
I'll give her tier 2. And she's also now. Oh, another funny story. I quite like this too, just for the crowd.
We don't have time for your stories, Lambertus.
What funny story? For 10 seconds. You know, she asked every country. Okay, so she's basically, very quickly, she's now the commissioner, the main president of the EU. And sorry, I got this.
What a cool story, Lambertus. Everyone's fucking laughing. Go, hurry up.
Sorry. Okay. So she's now the commission president, and now she has to go and find their 27 or 26 commissioners that work for her.
Yes.
She's asked every country, for a male and a female. I don't think one country has proposed a male and a female. I think they've all promoted either a male or female. No one's going with it. Maybe
Okay.
it's not that funny after all. Let's continue.
It's hilarious. No, yeah, that's a good one, Lambert. It's a good story. Okay.
God, that's funny. Like everyone just like, no, I'm not gonna do that, Ursula. Sorry. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, let's we gotta go through these a bit quicker because otherwise it's boring. All right,
Yeah.
let me pull up the next article, which is from a Hungarian. It's a Hungarian, I think, news organization, telex.hu. I honestly don't know how reliable. Oh, I see the text is a bit unreadable. Like so. Okay. Polish foreign minister message to Orban: we would not allow Chinese policemen to patrol the streets of Warsaw. Which is a for me, why I chose this was basically because it really shows a it illustrates the shift between Hungary and Poland, the increasing shift, because as most of you might know or will know, is that Hungary and Poland were let's say the bad guys, the bad boys of the European Union for a pretty long time under the PIS government in Poland, and now with the recent election of Donald Tusk in 2020, yeah, it was, how many months was that ago?
That's like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere, but it's not that long ago. And now with that new government, you have ministers, the Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sikorski, saying we will not allow Chinese policemen to patrol the streets of Warsaw, which is like an attack or a criticism about basically Sikorski seeing Hungary being pro China, pro Russia, just everything, just anti-West in general, just anti-Western rhetoric, and he is kind of just doing or I guess attacking Orban based on that, and which I thought was interesting. Yeah.
Okay, but like, why would Chinese people march the streets? Because is Hungary giving away visas or something? I don't even know. I haven't read the article.
So it is. The Chinese military is not going to be patrolling on the streets in the literal sense. But there are all throughout Europe, even in the Netherlands, for example, there are very clear indications of Chinese influence, and a big scary one, at least for the Netherlands. This is a bit of a shift, but there are these things called, or we call them Chinese police stations, where literally agents or officials from China would come to the Netherlands, sit in a kind of non-assuming house in the middle of any village, really, and then they would look or monitor Chinese citizens within the Netherlands. So even though they would be outside of China, they would still get monitored by the Chinese state through these officials from posing as supposed citizens, but actually being police officers that would be called like that. So it is part of that, but I think Sikorski really means the more like proverbial sense of speaking here.
Yeah, pretty good. Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we're ranking him then, I guess, right?
Yeah, we're ranking the Polish foreign minister. So I guess the question would be, how do you agree with him? Just, I guess, criticizing a foreign leader, in this case, Orban. Do you think the criticism is well? Things like that. I mean, if we already kind of agreed on Viktor Orban, then I guess this would be kind of a similar take anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really show unity, does it? Like if like countries within the EU are starting to like call each other out that way. But then again, it's difficult when leaders do their own thing. So I've got like mixed feelings about it.
I agree in the sense that, like, especially when we're in Europe and we're talking in EU context, you should be trying to have at least like try to speak with one voice. But as we all know, we don't have a foreign policy, the same foreign policy throughout the European Union. So you're going to get things like this. And if there is a politician that could get some criticism from other leaders, I feel like Orban is the person to criticize. So yeah.
Fair enough. So you'd give him?
again, not too much. Let's say a tier 3 or 2, something like that. He doesn't.
I mean, okay, so for me it's hard, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the guy. I just don't know the foreign minister of Poland. I really don't know. So, I mean, based on that action, I'd probably go. I mean, I'd give him a 2 for that. I don't really like, only for the reason for, I don't know, it doesn't really show unity much. Just like attacking other leaders. But again, if other leaders do their own thing, so yeah, I'd give him a 2.
Okay.
Sorry, a smiley.
Yeah, a smiley. No, yeah, let's say 2. Yeah, we can say that too.
Are you okay with that?
I think I'm looking at chat right now to see what their feelings are. I'm very malleable here. Yeah, just on that statement. I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't looked much into Sikorski much as well. I know that he. I listened to so many podcasts, and one of them they really mentioned everything about Sikorski, but I forgot. So useless.
To be fair,
let's put him on 2.
If we look at the facts, though, like Poland's foreign policies, towards Ukraine, towards Russia, and also their spending on military, which, as sad as it is, it's important these days. He's done a good job there, right? I mean, if he's the full foreign policy chief, right? Or
he's the minister of foreign affairs.
Yeah. So I give him a 2. Yeah, definitely
okay.
a 2.
Chad agrees. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have. Let me pull up.
Well, can you do the French dude for me?
Yes, I can.
Thierry Breton.
And you would like me to pull up the European Commission article or the Euroactive article?
The AI Act would be great. The AI Act,
Wonderful.
because we're doing a video on that pretty soon. That's right. The first one, the European Commission.
Here we go. AI Act enters into force.
Exactly. And if you can scroll down to maybe seeing the different tiers, if that's
the risks,
possible.
You mean?
Yeah, the risks.
Yeah. Okay. There
I can make my case for Breton. So, for the audience, so my pitch for Breton, it's quite a controversial character in the Commission. So, as I mentioned earlier, in Ursula von der Leyen's Commission, there's 26 commissioners working for her, and each of them have like a portfolio. So you can always imagine it as your government in your local member state. And one of the commissioners is this Thierry, again, I'm pronouncing completely wrong, but Thierry Breton, who is the commissioner for internal markets. And he was the commissioner for the last 5 years. And now the question is whether he'll become the commissioner again. France proposed him as the only candidate, so it looks like von der Leyen might have to take him. Why am I calling him out? Well, the AI Act went, I think, live this week or the week before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the week before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have heard of it. It's basically the EU loves to regulate everyone, as you know, including AI. And he basically was a big part of this AI Act, pushing it through and creating it. And basically, very briefly, not too much detail, but how it works is that you have like a pyramid with 4 different risks that AI poses to people.
Okay.
Minimal risk means, video game stuff like that. You don't have to do anything. But unacceptable risk at the very top of the pyramid is basically where this is not allowed. So if we will not have a face recognition system in Europe like in China.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So that's basically what he's done. And next to that, he's also been elected by Macron, which I think was a bit unexpected because Ursula von der Leyen hated him. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They did not get along.
It was like wasn't he seen as like some sort of political rival / danger to maybe Ursula von der Leyen, like someone that could overtake him?
Yeah, she openly.
Yeah.
You have to imagine, like, Ursula von der Leyen is his boss, and he openly Twittered about her, saying, or X about her, saying.
No, it says X'd. Tweeted it.
Yeah. But he was like, Ursula von der Leyen only got 80% support from her own party to become the Commission president again. Yeah. And he was Twittering or Twittering, well, doesn't look like Ursula von der Leyen has support. I'm not sure if we should go for her again, that kind of thing. So anyway.
There's a question about what is the AI Act. Well, you have to explain it. Well, we kind of did a little bit explain it, but very briefly, Lambertus, try to explain what is the AI Act.
Okay, sorry, the thing is, the problem is I know these things a bit too well sometimes, so maybe I just jump into the detail too far because I'm creating videos on them. But basically, it tries to regulate the dangers of AI. So that's basically in a nutshell. So that we as people do not get falsely informed or monitored or etc. by dangerous AI. Let's call it that.
And I think it's one of the first like real actual regulations on AI, which is I think it's a good thing that Europe is first or something. Yeah. So
sorry, I'm going to stop again. Sorry, Elliot, but I need to interrupt this. Yeah, it's like, and the AI Act is brilliant. You know, yes, it might be very good, but doesn't it bother you, Elliot, that in Europe, this is the first approach we take, right? If there's AI, like a new technology comes on the market, the first thing we do is regulate. The first thing the States does is like literally innovate like crazy, and they take all the business.
Yeah, no, yes, I would obviously love for Europe to be a bit more competitive in that sense, but I feel like, especially for something like AI, the quicker there is regulation, I think the better. With probably most other areas, I would say probably let loose a little bit more, just like the United States. But in the case of AI, where it's developing so incredibly quickly, and we are not quite sure where it might go. You know, it might not go anywhere, but I think for this it's better to have a framework to work inside first, instead of being surprised by negative effects later. So in this case I don't disagree that or I think it's a good thing that they did like this. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to ranking Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry. As you can tell, I'm an Arsenal fan. I mean, Thierry Breton. Let's go and rank him. So I'm gonna make my case, Elliot, and you can disagree because he's my choice. Yeah. I would give him quite a high rating. Why? Because of the AI Act is his, and it went live, which is a big piece of regulation. Even though I might not like it that much, considering, I mean, I do like it, but I would love a bit more innovation in the AI space. I think he did very well getting re-elected in France by Macron to represent France as a commissioner. Remember, everyone, one commissioner per country, and he got re-elected even though he doesn't get along with von der Leyen. He still has to pass the parliament, so he's not the commissioner yet, but he is re-elected by France. And and he's also done the DMA and DSA. I'm cheating now, but these are two other regulations in the last 2 years.
Stay with it.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm gonna park it. So I'm gonna put him in hot. I'm gonna put him 1. He has a hot 4 weeks. He's had a very hot 4 weeks.
Because I'm secretly a big Thierry Breton fan as well. I was a fanboy.
No, I wish you disagree.
Yeah. No, I'm like actually a fanboy, a little bit, because he had some very good. He had some very good statements and speeches a few months back, and I was like, damn, this guy gets it. And I thought you were going to say like, yeah, maybe tier 2, maybe tier 3. And I was like, no, this guy is supposed to be God tier, okay? He's number 1, but yeah, he says hot, so I say hot, so no more discussion. God damn.
Yeah, man, we don't disagree. Does the chat disagree? Let's have a look if the chat disagrees.
I see that the poll does.
There's no 45%.
Yeah. Jeffrey says
cool.
He is a loser.
He's a loser. It's 50-50 to be fair. Not bad. Elliot, next time we do this, we're gonna have to take some more controversial figures where we disagree.
We will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Next one.
Yeah, next one. Let me see. We have Marie Agnes, yes. Here we go. Okay, Renew's rebels strike back. German bloc heralds liberal power reshuffle. So as we already kind of mentioned, is that Renew has been a pretty big loser during the parliamentary elections, and that is, well, for the people who like Renew, is a bad thing. But now we have this Miss. God, but I always forget her last name as well.
Zimmermann, Marie Agnes
Strack-Zimmermann. She is part of the FDP in Germany, and she is one of the 3 leaders within Renew. Not the big chief president of Renew, but one of the 3. Basically, this article goes through her being quite, I think the article says edgy, even with her statements and how she conducts herself within the party. And the author kind of attributes it to her trying to win votes for re-election. That's it. And well, her entire conduct surrounding the past weeks and surrounding the elections as well, with also voting against von der Leyen and creating a
She
rift,
voted.
so to say.
She voted against von der Leyen
Yeah.
as part of Renew. That's kind of backstabbing Renew in the back, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And so, because it's my own opinion, I like Renew. I think they got some good ideas. So hate me for all you want, but I kind of like them. And I feel like if you lost this bad in the elections, then you would try to, sail in the same direction as the other political parties within Europe, right? Or at least try to agree on something and not start proverbially throwing mud at each other.
Yes, but Elliot, you have to imagine her situation. Her FDP party in Germany is not doing well.
Yeah.
So
you can maybe
she's trying
say a
to
little bit more about that.
Yeah, maybe I'll quickly explain. So FDP in
Very
Germany.
Quickly. Make it simple, okay? Make it EU made simple.
Hey,
okay?
but this is why we have live streams. So I can chat. Do it. Maybe also chat. Do I talk too much?
No. So I'm only saying because we have 4 more candidates we have to put on the list, so, or 3
Yeah,
more.
but we don't have to go through all of them, do we? I mean,
I want to. We need a complete list.
Okay, very quickly. So the FDP is one of the parties in Germany. They are not doing well. They're around the 5% mark. In Germany, if you get lower than 5%, you don't make it into government. Elections are next year. So that's why she's really trying hard to make noise on the European stage that she can sell at home. That's what she's doing. And I think that's why she's not being a friendly cooperator within the Renew party, Renew Europe group. Is that a good explanation, or was it too quick?
No, I think you should talk a lot more, actually. No, so yeah, basically a big dislike for Miss Marie. I think you shouldn't be doing that, and I personally really don't like that politicians somehow go into this quirky mode where they decide to do some out-of-pocket things to try and win voters. And maybe I get it kinda because the FDP is dead as hell. But yeah, I don't like it. So I would say, I mean, she's not Orban tier, but 4.
Don't put her in 4. Okay, we're gonna have to disagree. This is great.
Where are you gonna put her in 4?
Really?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'm biased because I'm in Germany, so I saw her campaign here. Okay, again, we're looking at the last 4 weeks. She won. She actually was quite successful at something else in the last 4 weeks. She won the not the community. It's what do you call them again? In the parliament they split up the what different groups do, and I can't believe I forgot. Not a community, but not a commission, but a
committee
group that works together on certain topics. Okay, let's just follow that for now. Maybe the chat can help me out.
The committees.
Committee.
Yeah.
Thank you. So she won. She's going to lead I think it's defense committee or something to do with defense. And she was very strong in Germany on defense throughout her whole campaign. Okay, it's too far away, but I really liked her approach to defense. It was very, very, very pro-Ukraine and a lot of support. And I quite like that she's heading the committee. So I would not give her a 4. She won a committee. She's leading a committee. So that doesn't deserve a 4 if you ask me. And then she's good on defense too. So it's actually good 2 weeks for her.
Okay. What if I don't care about that? Hypothetically speaking only, all right? Theoretically speaking.
Yeah, well then you can put her in 4, but I disagree with you.
Okay, so why would you put her then?
I put her in
Oh, careful.
I put her in 3. I'll put her in 3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, she's all right. She's all right. She's being a bit of a jerk in the Renew Europe, being hard to work with, but she won a committee and she's strong on defense. That gives her a 3.
Okay, people, just as always, you're dumb as hell because the poll is currently saying tier 4.
Are you joking?
I do admit that the poll was started before you were giving the counter argument, so I'm not sure if people took that into account. But yeah.
Okay, well, let's place her in 4, and I'll make my case next time because I honestly think she definitely has some positives. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sad now. This is the first and last episode.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
We should vote kicking Elliot off the live stream.
Oh, that's a good poll. Okay, let's go for a big one. Let's go for a big one. Which is
Marilyn. Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Which is Miss Meloni. I think you have you've quite the opinion. I mean, God, yeah.
So, okay. So, okay, I need to be quick. So, my case for Meloni. So, this article is all about a dangerous new phase under Meloni. So, Meloni hasn't had a great couple of weeks. First reason is that during the election for Ursula von der Leyen, actually, she didn't support von der Leyen, right, in that election. So, again, that's fine. That's her prerogative. But von der Leyen won easily without her votes. So, she got the Greens, which means that it looks like that von der Leyen might shift more working with the Greens rather than with Meloni on the ECR side, which is not good for her. And the second thing that's not good for her, a new rule of law report came out where they look at the countries on the EU and how free their media is. That's one of the criteria of 4, I think. And again, Meloni did not came away well with this. Like the report basically said that the media freedom in Italy is declining. I think they lost 5 places of where they used to be, with only 4 other EU countries being worse. So yeah, that's 2 things that really don't work in Meloni's favor. And I think she's had a terrible month. I actually think, full disclosure, I think Meloni has done good for the EU. I really do. But I think the last month has been terrible, and I would place her quite low on the scale.
I think if we're looking at the past month, then I wouldn't disagree necessarily on her actions. However, I have one important counter argument.
Okay.
And that is, wait, hold on, let me pull up. She is the face. She looks good. Okay. It's Mommy Meloni, okay.
Is that your argument?
If we're talking about hot or not, okay, in the European politics, then you can't go wrong with Meloni, all right. But yeah, no, I do agree that.
How many beers have you had, Elliot?
1.
I'm joking.
I promise 1. So Meloni, you would rate her quite badly then.
Based on her last month. I mean, this is a really crucial point because actually, and here someone else says here, for me, Meloni tier 1 for interesting. I actually think there is things she's done in the past which are absolutely tier 1. But this, we're looking at the last month before I talk too long again. So yes, I would give her a tier 4 here. Not as bad as Orban, but 4.
Let's see. Yeah. I think people are saying tier 5. There's Jeffrey disagrees. He says tier 2.
BGC she did cover the child labor that funds the French treasury. This was a big moment for her, also supporting Ukraine. There you go. There's some interesting stuff there. Authoritarian leaning, tier 3, tier 5.
Yeah, I think so. I really okay. I think she deserves pretty low because of that. Because of the backsliding, especially for press freedom. That is one of the most important things I feel like that would make or break a system is press freedom. So it's, I don't know.
She did. Sorry, Ellie, but she did make a counter argument, right? She said that the report is bullshit, and that the 3 left-wing outlets in Italy basically worked with the report people to try and bash her right-wing media. So that's her answer to it. There might be some truth in it.
Yeah, I would have to look into it more. But that is nuanced, and we don't do nuance. It's all black and white here. Okay. Do we have any, is there any positive thing that she's done in the past 2-3 weeks that you can think of?
She did very well in the elections, I guess, and she she
did well in the elections, but like we said, she got her party has been overtaken in the parliament.
Yes, but her group, the ECR group, still still won 9 seats, right? 9 seats more than before.
9 seats, yeah, okay.
So that's considering they're only 69 seats before, and now they're 78. Pretty strong.
Yeah, but that is like half a point on the scale. I would put her in 5. I would go there. For my personal, I have not seen, and the chat says tier 5. Chat says 38% is tier 5.
Yeah, I think the chat is really with you today. It looks like it's going to be tier 5.
Yeah,
but then again,
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but
she's not. Guys, come on, let's wake up here. She's not tier 5.
Okay, Orban
she's not. She's not tier 5. You can't put her next to Orban, like bashing the EU in the last 4 weeks. I'm sorry.
You're right.
I'm not going to accept tier 5.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I don't think we can compare it with that. So she would be I would put her in between Marie and Victor. But yeah, okay, so, like she would be on this side.
Tier 4.
Yeah.
I mean, 50% put her in tier 4 or 3 of the audience, 60% even. So I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a good compromise because some people, like a large part, also think that she should be in tier 3. But yeah. It's a difficult one. We can. I'll park her on tier 4 for now, and at the end we have 2 more to go, and then we can decide on the final one. All right.
Elliot, I am not accepting tier 5.
I'm not. Hey, I'm putting on tier 4. She's on tier 4.
Let's leave her there then.
We'll see. Otherwise, I'm gonna do a popular uprising with maybe chat.
Tier 4 is a good compromise. I agree. Yeah1 is on fire today in the comments. He's right. It's a compromise.
Tier 4.5.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We have 2 more people, which are admittedly smaller actors, so we don't have to talk about them very long. First is Mr. It's Peter, and then Girato. Wait, hold on. Where is his name? Can we see it somewhere?
Girato. Okay, I don't know this guy. Oh, this is good for Imre. He's Hungary, right? Yeah, Imre probably knows a lot about him in the chat. Yeah.
Peter Girato. Okay. Anyways, he is Hungary's Minister for Trade and Foreign Affairs, if I say that correctly. And this is 4 days old. He was basically talking about there's this big thing going on where Hungary and I think Slovakia and one more country got an exemption from having to switch instantly off Russian gas and oil back in February 2022, 2022 as well. Jesus Christ, with the invasion of Ukraine, right? Where a lot of countries had to go off, but I think they got an exception where they would have more time. And now the time has come, kind of, and we're talking about now them having to go off the Russian gas because Ukraine blocked the pipeline, if I'm correct, that is going through Ukraine. It's a Lukoil pipeline, and Hungary is now obviously upset about that. Yeah. So, Mr. Peter, I will not call him by his last name. I'm sorry, it's unpronounceable. Someone said it in chat. Hold on. Siriato. Okay.
Mr. Siriato. Okay. Yeah.
He has said that, or Croatia, and in their cooperative spirit, have said that they could take over at least part of the demand through their pipelines. Mr. Siriato says no. We are that doesn't work because the reason he gave was it's not a reliable country for transit because the transit prices were raised 5-fold after the outbreak of the Ukraine war. And they responded with saying that it's just totally untrue, that they haven't raised their fees in the past 3 years. Jan Af, which I think is the company that is responsible for the pipeline in Croatia. Croatia's Jan Af. Yeah. So it's basically the prime minister saying, Croatia can't help us with this because their pipeline is too expensive. Croatia is saying that's not true. Our price hasn't raised at all, and it kind of, to me, it feels like another excuse to stay on Russian Lukoil gas, which is okay.
I think I get it. Okay, right. Okay, but who are you rating here?
We're rating the man who did the Mr. Peter. we're rating him because he is responsible for this, and especially for the things that he said as well. You could attribute it to Orban maybe, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, not great though, is it?
Some people in chat are saying that he's basically just a puppet. He says what
I
he
probably agree.
has to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, he's someone I don't know anything about. So based on the article, I'd probably put him quite low.
Yeah, I would not discuss this too much because I mean, okay, this is the problem of going after only articles. I would have to go, but if the pipeline provider says that they haven't raised their prices and it's just not true what the guy is saying, then I'm inclined to believe them and just say, well, why isn't it happening? Is there an ulterior motive as to why Mr. Seattle is doing it? But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Well, we can rate him, we can put him down, and then we have one more to go.
Yeah. Let's put him 5,
Yeah.
and let's do the last one because then we're
Then we can round off. Okay, and the last one is actually part of what we already talked about a little bit, which is the
interesting.
Commission, the article you talked about with Meloni.
Right.
This is the woman who made who spearheaded the investigation into press freedom, is called Vera Jourova, which is also a difficult name. But she is the one that has reported on the points falling in Hungary, Slovakia, Italy, and even in France as well on press freedoms. And I thought that especially this woman deserves a special shout out for that, because she is the vice president for the Commission for Values and Transparency, which is I didn't know her at all before looking into this, but she is the person responsible for looking into all of the transparency and value issues within the European Union, which is I think an incredibly important role. So I definitely deserve the shout out first of all. But with this report, I thought it's a very good thing. But yeah, like you said, there has been some disagreements as well with the report. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about the report is so this is a rule of law report, and all the countries in the EU are assessed. And the cool thing is they look also what they said last time. So they give recommendations like, look, in order to have media freedom, you have to do A, B, C, D, E, F. And then it is quite funny for some countries, the A, B, C, E, D, F that they had to do from last time were not fulfilled at all, or it got worse. So that's what I think is really powerful in that report, because you can really see over time how these countries do.
Yeah, but I thought I read that it was like most did implement the report.
Except for Hungary.
Except for Hungary. Like there was like it's not in this article actually, I don't think, but that there was a 38 or no, not 38, 68 or something in the 60% where countries were implementing to some degree the recommendations made in the previous report. Which I mean, 60% you can argue, is that a lot? Is that not a lot? Well, I don't know, but
Yeah.
What do we think about her?
I think fair play. I also think the report is very important, and I think it's good that she mentioned all of it. I do have my concerns though about, I told you already, like the that how accurate it is here and there. I think it is very accurate. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I'm not conspiracy here. So I'd have to look more into it. But like comments like Meloni saying that like the left-wing media worked with the report and stuff like that, I would love to look into more. But otherwise, I also think it's a great initiative that she worked on. And basically also everyone in the chat, we're making a video on exactly this report, so that's probably coming early next week. So yeah,
very good because it's a pretty important topic. So I'd say tier 2 maybe.
Tier 2 is what I'd say too. Yeah.
So
good on her. Good for the report. Good for the EU.
Good for her. I mean, we don't know much else about her, so I don't know. We'll see. So this is the final tier list, or not the final. We haven't put our names under it. Let's just say that. But this is how it would look. And I guess we would ask the chat what we think about this. Do we agree? Do we disagree? Do we want to change anything here when we compare these politicians with each other?
I think the general idea is also like this will get a lot more fun once we've had like quite a lot of politicians to talk about, and we can start seeing like leaderboards and things like that.
This is the first rating, so
yeah. I would love to see this actually. No, yes. I love it.
I do agree with the ranking. Well, let's see how. Let's see how most people disagree. How is that possible?
It's because
okay, what do we disagree with? Please put it in chat.
Terrible
ranking. We're awful at this.
Yeah, it's our first time, Elliot. We'll get better.
Yeah, Orban tier we have. He instantly contaminated tier 5, so we didn't want to put anyone else next to him.
Yeah.
What are we? What like I've
extremely soft on Meloni. Meloni is in 4.
Yeah. Soft.
Would you put Goose? Would you put her in next to the ones that we have in 5? I think that's Orban and the foreign minister, right? Yeah. Orbanism.
It's 50-50 on the agreement. So okay, if you vote no, tell us what we should do. We have 4 people. People are saying that you're soft on Meloni.
I can just see. Anyway, no, I'm not going to say that.
True though. Zimmermann is tier 3. Someone says.
Meloni getting bumped up to tier 4 for being a mummy is wild. No. Niall, that was Elliot. Yeah. So I'm not going to take any responsibility.
That's my doing. That's true. That's my doing. Okay.
Jeffrey says Meloni 3 though. Look at that.
But you said like what? Did you agree with Meloni tier 5 or no? You didn't want to put her on tier 5,
no,
right?
4.
No, yeah.
4,
you want to have her on tier 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, 4.5. Imre says nah. Sorry, Imre. I'm.
Hey, look at that! Just let the poll go for long enough, and they agree with you. Now it says yes, 57%. I think the biggest disagreement is with Meloni.
Yeah.
Jeffrey wants to see Meloni put on 3.
RJ 4.5. 4.5.
We could put it if Meloni is wife material. I can see it in Elliot's eyes.
Who do we put in 1 again? Who is hot?
Thierry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I am completely open to putting Georgia in tier 5, but because it's funny, put it in tier 4. You don't want her to put her in tier 5 anyways.
She doesn't deserve it. I mean, you might think. I don't think so. I mean, look who's in tier 5. My opinion. It's my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Let's keep it like this for now. We have a 55% agreement, which is, I think we'll see in next streams. How much we can get the chat to agree with the live stream or with the ranking.
I look forward to September when things kick off again. Then we can do like actual live. Yeah.
Analysis. Okay. So, any final thoughts on this, Lambertus? What do we think? Are we happy with this? I feel like this is pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it was fun. It was fun. It's the first time we tried something like this. I enjoyed it. I hope the crowd had a good time too. And yeah, we're never gonna all agree with each other, right?
No, that's impossible. We're never going.
3 and close the deal. Sorry.
Yeah, 3 and we can close the deal.
Yeah.
God tier. Yeah, Victor is so bad. He deserves his own tier. People want to put Victor even lower, where we can like make Victor poke out from.
I think also it's. I mean, we were putting Viktor Orban very low, but so many people still voted for him.
He did.
Right? Yeah. So it'd be interesting look into that at some point too, like why there actually are and like the deeper reasons underneath it.
Georgia mentioned because I said Georgia Meloni.
What
Yeah, someone in chat said Georgia mentioned and put the Georgian flag behind it. Just as a Georgia Meloni. Okay.
Weem Ibrahim too. Nice one. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it then. Thank you everyone for watching. I had a good time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to where we can like have a actual leaderboard and have our ranking compared to others, right? So,
guys, exactly. I agree. It'll be fun. It was fun. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
I'll see you next time. We have a live stream every Wednesday, so don't forget. Next Wednesday is going to be interesting as well. We're gonna have an interesting speaker on some topics that some of you might have quite dear to your heart. I won't spoil yet what it is. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. Subscribe to the Patreon if you really want to support the channel. And yeah, I think that's all from me. Lambertus, you want to say anything else?
No, you summed it up, Elliot. Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful.
Thank you, everyone.